Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid, episode 3.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh, and today I have a cold. So, I apologize if my voice sounds weird and scratchy, and Jake does a lot more talking than me, which he's gonna anyway.
I also apologize for that.
This is his favorite
I don't
episode.
want you guys to have to hear. Oh God,
What episode are we watching today, Jake?
we're watching an episode where my phone won't stop making noises.
Just put it away.
And I need to find out what the date is. We're watching Teamwork. It debuted September 8th, 1993.
Oh, you're right.
The day after the last one.
God,
High five. Because they aired them 5 days a week.
I always think it was weekly, and it never was.
Nope.
Is it now? I don't even know.
Yes, I think now, because it runs from like February
By
to
the time
November.
we get to Megaforce, it'll be in one of the Mega DVD collections.
Yeah, we'll be in season 15.
We just watch it.
1500.
We can watch it all in one go right now if we want.
I mean, probably. Okay, so here's the thing about this episode. We watched it recently. It's a little bit of a train wreck.
It's not that bad.
We'll see. And so will you if you follow along. Because we're going to pause right now. And we're going to go watch it just so it's really fresh in our brains. And hopefully, we come back.
If not, it's been a fun 2.5 episodes. Thanks for listening, and we're sorry.
It's Morphin time. And we are back from watching Teamwork, the very third episode of Power Rangers. I have a lot of notes.
Oh, well, let's get started.
Okay, so the basic plot of the episode is there is too much pollution. Trini and Kimberly hate that.
In this one particular dump site.
In this one dump site, which is filled with toxic sludge and Ninja Turtle ooze, and they need to clean it up. They are the only two people who care about the Earth, so they need to clean it up. So Rita is the one polluting. Apparently, she is just sending down garbage.
It's her waste dump.
Yeah, this is where all the gunk from her monsters get.
The Monster-matic, I'm sure, gives off a bunch of
Oh,
crap.
probably it's the 90s. There's no regulations,
just-
especially not on the moon.
Yeah.
It just barrels it up, throws it down there.
Onto the dump site.
Who cares what happens? So we also were introduced to Mr. Kaplan, who is the principal of the school and
Yes.
will be forever, basically.
This is his first episode.
Yeah.
He's a character.
No wig jokes in this one.
Other than the obvious visual of his toupee.
Right. He's like, oh, you guys are doing great. This is good work. Bye. And then... oh, man. Okay. We're doing fine so far in terms of the episode. I'm totally on board. This is one of those episodes where I wish I could just watch the parts with the Rangers as people and none of the Mighty Morphin stuff. Because it'd be a lot better. It'd be really short, but it would be a lot better. So my note here is the shirking of responsibility.
I just want to make note real quick because we're going to jump into... As Kaplan walks away, 3 boys... come over and Jason's in a muscle shirt and karate pants. He just didn't change after gym class,
or he changed after gym class into his karate stuff. Because as we'll find out in a minute, he's got places to be. He can't help them drop off the petition.
It's just funny to me that he's walking through the hallways of his high school in a tiny little muscle shirt, and
everyone knew
Zubas.
Everyone
Zuba
knew
pants.
someone that thought they were being really cool by dressing exactly the opposite of everybody else in high school. Every high school has someone who's just wearing something weird. And Jason happens to be that guy, I guess. He's just super proud of being a karate guy. What are you going to do?
That's fine. I just wanted to point that out.
So, yeah, the boys come up and they're like, oh, this is really great. And they're like, oh, do you want to sign our petition? And the guy's like, yeah. I'm like, cool, you can help us drop them off. And they go, no, can't, nope. And then, so Jason is like, oh, I have students. I can't ditch them. I got to teach a karate class after school. So right now, I want to establish that the girls are going to drop off the petitions after school.
Yes.
Once school ends, they are going to go, okay? Remember that.
It's in my head. It's there.
Okay. You too, listeners, because it'll come up again, and it's a weird thing. But anyway, so he's like, oh, I got to teach students. I can't. I would like to, but I can't. Billy's like, oh, I'm the science fair president.
He's the leader of the science club. And their first meeting is...
And we got a meeting...
Today after school.
Today after school. Rats. And then Zach goes, yeah, no, Alpha needs me. It sounds like he's just making up an excuse.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, because I don't want to, but Alpha. But then later, he actually is with Alpha.
Alpha actually called him there.
Alpha did need him to teach him how to dance. But maybe it's just a weird line delivery.
I think it's just a weird acting quirk.
But like he totally stumbled on it. Like he was like, I didn't have anything prepared. I didn't know we were shirking responsibility today, guys. Yeah. But yeah, then they leave to go do better things.
Yes.
And Bulk starts burping at them. And Skull starts...
At the girls, because the boys are gone.
Yeah. They're burping at the girls. Like you do to an attractive lady. That's how you get them. Then Skull's being Skull.
Probably just laughing.
Just being National Treasure Jason Narvey.
Well, Bulk is burping because he just drank a soda.
Oh, right, because they crumple up and he tosses it on the ground like you did.
I did not crumple it up.
Fair point.
This is getting cut.
You don't have anything to say over that. Okay, so he throws it on the ground. He's like, oh, why don't you clean that up or recycle that? Here's the thing about this scene, though. Because obviously this is going to lead to Bulk and Skull getting beaten up by girls again.
Right.
They go to, like, kill Kimberly, I guess, and she backflips out of the way, and they...
Right, they rolled a barrel at her.
Yeah,
she gymnastics over it.
Right.
Then they went to squash her.
They said, get her, like they want to,
get her.
Destroy her.
Right.
And she does a gymnastics, like a back handspring.
Instead of just backing up.
It's not... She's a Power Ranger, okay? She's got to be flashier.
Doing backflips in the hallway is the same as Jason wearing his gym clothes.
Yeah, And so they hit, and they're hugging because they were going to grab her in a hug, I guess. They were going to hug. Because the huggy circle is impenetrable, as we've established, so that's what they were going to do.
They would just hug tighter and tighter until Kimberly was gone.
They constricted her, and she turned into a diamond.
Her through osmosis.
Ooh. Instead, they end up hugging each other and freaking out and throwing each other back and landing into
trash cans. There's the lady bully.
Yeah, there's a girl punk bully lady just with bleach blonde hair that she swam in a highly chlorinated pool with too much. Now it's kind of green. And she's just there making snarly faces at them.
Right.
And then she disappears forever.
I feel like she's in a little bit more.
We'll have to keep an eye out because I don't remember. She's definitely not prominent.
Oh, no.
She does not become...
She's there like maybe one or two more times, if that.
It's not Bulk and Skull.
And Judy.
Her
name is Judy.
Bulk, Skull, and Judy. That's like a radio show because it's always two guys with like really cool names and a girl with a regular name.
Girl.
But yeah, so then I forget what they said, but they said something very disrespectful to Kimberly, and Trini was like, "Oh, that is over the line."
Oh no, that was before.
Yeah, it was before then, but I just read it in my notes.
When Bulk crossed the line is when he dumped that barrel on that nerd.
Oh right. Yes.
Because he recycled the can that Bulk threw on the floor.
Random nerd just has the misfortune to be in the wrong place, the wrong time.
So that's what started the fight.
Right, you are correct, sir. At this point,
and Judy's trying to pull Bulk out of the barrel.
Yes, because
I think that's basically the end. And I think it cuts from there.
Yep. Before we leave, though, it's time for my favorite segment.
Oh,
what was Kimberly wearing this episode? The answer is mom jeans with what I am pretty sure is an elastic waist and a really big tie-dye shirt tucked into her mom jeans. She is styling.
The 90s, you guys. Sorry.
Kimberly is the 90s clothing incarnate. Just wait until she's wearing jean dresses and combat boots, and my heart
She's got her backwards pink hat and her overall jorts.
My heart goes a pitter-patter. So then we go back up to Rita, and she's all like, oh, we're going to get him this time.
My pollution will get him.
Pollution will destroy everything. And then we have fake Goldar.
Oh, yes. I mentioned in the first episode, I think, that I was going to keep track of this. Goldar is still the wrong voice. Was it the first
that
episode?
That might have been the first try. The second try of the first episode, not the final try of the first episode. But yeah, you did mention it in that. This is still fake Goldar.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes in, and Goldar still doesn't sound like Goldar. He's currently Golgar.
Golgar, one of the oddities.
That's Golga.
I know, whatever. I don't know if it's the same voice actor or not, and he's just like trying to figure it out, or if it's a completely different guy, because it sounds really different.
We'll come back to that when he sounds like Goldar.
Yeah, later.
So, I guess you'll have to keep listening to us if you want to know.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way that you can definitely not find out that.
Literally no way to find out.
That's the worst English I've ever spoken.
Well, I mean, we don't have the worst on record anyway.
So far.
Okay, so we cut to Alpha, who needs to learn how to dance, and Zach is just doing hip-hop keto, which is just a dance routine.
He's just dancing.
Unless him throwing his hand out all cool is him striking putties with like one finger.
Right.
Then this is not...
That's enough for a putty.
Well, yeah, because they all clink. Kimberly and Trini go to the dump, and there's literally nobody there. It's just a fenced-in waste area. Putties attack them. A lot of clinking. And then Zach... or Alpha sees it on the viewing globe.
Yep.
And Zach's like, oh, man. But then doesn't immediately say anything that they need to help him. So Zordon's like, Jason, Billy, it's urgent. Get here. They teleport in. Jason's not wearing a headband because he doesn't need to make Billy look like not an idiot.
Exactly.
So this is proof positive that he was only wearing it.
He only does it that one time.
Yep. So he's like, you guys can shirk responsibility, but until there's a monster.
Right.
Now, so they're like, go down, save them. But because Rita and Zordon also have each other's feeds.
Right.
They're watching they're following each other on Twitter, so they know what they're doing at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
So Rita sends down, I'm calling him the Terrible.
I don't think he was officially named. Maybe he was. But Billy, before they warp to fight them, or him, warp to fight him, says, man, that's one menacing Minotaur. He's menacing Minotaur. That's him.
I'm calling him Terrible.
Also, fun fact, he's the first boss in the fighting game for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, not the first boss. I think he's like the first fight.
Right, but still. Yeah. That's cool. I did not... the only one I played on... I was on Super Nintendo.
Pig, unfortunately, sadly, lacking from that game.
It's even the point.
I don't have it anymore, obviously.
For that reason. Because I only played the one that was the movie.
Right.
And it played almost exactly like the Spider-Man game for the Super Nintendo.
That one's just a side-scrolling. Yeah. I still have that one.
That game is awesome.
Super Nintendo.
Anyway, so
this is a weird thing, because Zordon's like, guys, get here. Billy, Jason, come on. And they teleport in. And he's like, go help them. No, wait, there's a monster. Go do that instead. Like, there's no pause. It's all one run-on sentence.
Yeah, he's like, go get the Terrible, but split up. You can help your friends, but don't. Because another thing, they'll be fine. Whatever.
Right.
But then he calls Trini and Kimberly and says, "Hey, go help the guys." It's like, I know you're in trouble, but stop it.
Well, Trini and Kimberly had to put those last 2 putties in a barrel.
Yeah, they fought about 15 putties by themselves, and then 2 putties sort of cornered them a little, and they were like, "Oh man, what do we do?"
Oh.
But then they just flipped them like they did Bulk and Skull in the first episode, dumped them in empty barrels, and that was that.
And then they were just in there for eternity.
But then they morphed, and the guys were fighting terrible, not giant yet, just regular style.
Right.
Kimberly and Trini got like stopped because they had to fight Goldar.
Feel like I don't,
because they were like trying to teleport, but they couldn't because then more putties and Goldar got them in the desert, though.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Rita was like, "Goldar, now you go," and Zordon was like, "Man, this is bad. You guys go fight Goldar.
Fight Goldar.
While the guys fight Menacing Minotaur."
And then Zach was like, "What do you want from us, floating head man?" Or he should have. Which is what I would have done in that situation, because he's given a lot of directions. He needs to consolidate.
I'm just throwing him out in the air and seeing who grabs him.
Seeing who does what. Oh, I do have a note about them flipping the putties. Kimberly flips them. Trini just touches one's back, basically. He was moving too quick for her. So she's just like, heh, and then he flips over into a barrel. I said footage match. Oh, right. This is the reason they're split up. Is because in the Japanese version, which, by the way, guys, we definitely have a Z Ranger.
Oh, we do. Yes, I purchased it. Wink.
That wink means he legally purchased it from probably it's definitely a bootleg, but he definitely spent real money on it.
I definitely actually bought it, so technically, I don't know.
It's fuzzy.
That's
at
fine.
Best.
Whatever. But yeah, it was at the Austin Comic Con
that we just went
Wizard
to.
World Comic Con.
Yes, it was a comic convention, but it was Wizard World.
Yes.
We also met Jason David Frank.
We did.
Josh panicked.
I'm just a very handsome man.
He's very photogenic.
Hopefully, by the time you guys are listening to this, we'll have the picture on a digital format so you can see it.
So you can see it.
Because we were supposed to morph, and I just smiled awkwardly as I held my morpher in front of me.
I'm the one in red, screaming. Josh is the one in blue, politely smiling.
While standing as far away as I could while still being in the frame because I was terrified of touching him.
You were a good 4 inches from him. I was basically in his armpit. He's like, "Get closer." I'm like, "You got it." You don't have to tell me twice, photographer man.
I don't think I moved.
I don't think you did either. Oh, he was really cool though.
Yeah, really cool guy.
Then you got your Power Ranger card.
My Green Ranger card from the Power Rangers action card game. Signed by him.
So, and he liked our tattoos.
Which hopefully you'll also see pictures of going online with this episode.
Oh, probably. I mean, we mentioned him in the first episode. Maybe they'll be up then.
Maybe they'll be up now. Maybe they won't.
Maybe you've already seen him. This is just old hat. And you're like, get on with it, guys.
Continue.
Okay,
everything's fine.
So where we are is the girls stop fighting Goldar to go get in the Megazord. They don't beat him. He doesn't leave. They just jump in the Megazords.
Yep. Not yet. Just regular Zords.
Not Megazords. The Zords. The Dino Zords. The Zords. Oh, if I buy a baseball team, if I'm ever rich enough to buy a baseball team, I'm immediately renaming it the Zords. I don't know why I would buy a baseball team. If I just had so much money, I didn't know what to do with it.
The logo could just be Megazord's head.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. I would watch baseball.
Me too. Because I'd have to own a team. Anyway. So they just stop fighting Goldar. Whatever. We'll deal with them later. They jump in the Zords. And then they start attacking Terrible. Well, first, Kimberly says, "Let's munch this Minotaur." Which is just a weird thing to say, Kimberly.
A little suggestive.
A little bit. I mean, maybe not then. We don't know. I was 3. I was 4.
Right.
Who cares? Anyway, the thing that I like about this part is that all of them are fighting, and they had independently. They're sort of getting each other's way. They're not like a team, but I like seeing the Zords operate by themselves because we don't get to see a whole lot of that pretty much ever. I think in Zeo, they never even use them by themselves.
No, it ends with the Thunder Zords.
Yeah. Well, no, because the Ninja Zords fight by themselves.
Do they?
They do in the movie, and then the Shogun Zords fight by themselves because they're people.
Right. And the Ninja Zords, I guess. No, I'm sorry. The Thunder Zords, because the Red Dragon one turns into a guy.
Yeah. And he has a staff.
Right.
If my toy.
But in Zeo, they definitely don't. Because 2 of them are being dragged by better Zords. By better
Zords. Yeah, they literally never put them together. Maybe in Turbo they do again, but it's a rare occurrence. Unfortunately, this is where the episode falls apart, is immediately after this. The episode's called Teamwork. Trini has mentioned teamwork a couple times during the episode, but okay, let me gather my thoughts. Instead of them just being Megazords, like turning into Megazord and that working because teamwork, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
So,
nope.
So they can't make this bull, this Minotaur, do anything but just knock him away with his big shield and spiky club. They morph into, or they combine into that like tank mode. Mm-hmm. Megazord sequence activate initiate.
Stop.
I think that got cut from the first episode when we explained that I have heard it like that for my entire life. Anyway, the tank doesn't work, which is fine because the tank's an intermediary step anyway.
Right, yeah.
Then that turns into Megazord, and that doesn't work. He just keeps knocking him around like he don't even care. And then Zordon goes, retreat, get out of there, come back. Because earlier he said, if this doesn't work, we'll have to show them the secrets of the power weapons. Why are you withholding information?
Because you don't escalate a battle unless you're forced to.
But this isn't escalating. This is de-escalating. This is
look,
descending a battle.
They had to introduce the weapons. They had footage to work with.
They did. Okay, I have a fix in a second.
Okay,
but
I mean, they did bad.
Yeah,
I will even admit that.
It's just a mess, and I feel like there was a really easy way that they could have done it. I had another note for that. So, okay, they're like, retreat, get out of there, come back to the power chamber, or command center. It's not the power chamber yet. Come back to the command center, and we'll figure something out. So, like, okay, here's your weapons. And he gives them their weapons, which are...
Power Lance.
Power Bow. Power...
Daggers.
Power Axe.
Power Sword.
Power Axe. What was that?
He says it weird.
He does say it a little weird. I used to have the toys, but used to, I mean, they're still at my house in New Hampshire. Most of them, anyway. I have the Power Axe here because I have a plan to like take out all the plastic parts except for like the main body and replace it with like metal, make it look really cool. Because it's the coolest weapon that any Power Ranger's ever had. Ever.
Yeah, because it's also a cannon.
A gun, yeah. And it's so small that it's like a little hatchet that can become a handgun thing with like a pump mechanism. It's pretty baller. So I want to like fix it and clean it up because it's like 100 at this point. Zordon sends him back. Also, they're in their uniforms, their outfits, they're morphed.
Their suits.
Their suits. Thank you. I was blanking. They're in their suits. Trini is a guy.
Yep.
But this is new footage. This is new footage they shot.
This is footage in the command center, which is all American footage.
Yeah, which is all American footage. As far as we know. I'm like 90%
because Alpha and Zordon are American characters.
So they're in the command center, and I like that they matched the footage here. Like they had like it's a little bit some gymnastics, but it's really cool.
Yeah,
that they took that step, so there's like that visual continuity.
Right.
So she's not like a girl because she's like taller than Billy. In the when she's morphed.
Right.
And we're back. I didn't sneeze. I just thought I was, and I panicked. The monster shrunk. Why?
He went back small.
Explain to me why the monster shrunk.
The only thing I can come up with is because Rita is stupid.
Rita dropped the ball because she's like, "Oh, Power Rangers are gone. My giant monster has at least 5 minutes of uninterrupted chaos it can cause.
Right.
Better shrink him down to regular
Better
size.
make him the size of a guy."
So they go to fight him back down to regular size. They fight him with their weapons a little bit. Put them together.
Their plan, Jason yells a plan at them because when he's unmorphed, he's a really soft-spoken, like, casual guy.
Tornado kick.
When he's morphed, he just screams the whole time.
He has no inside voice anymore.
He's like, "All right, guys, we're gonna use our weapons, and if that doesn't work, we'll bring them together and hit them with our mega power." He says this while they're teleporting there.
Teleporting there in their Star Trek insignia-shaped teleportation
so
bubbles.
basically, he's just like, "We're gonna try fighting him one-on-one, and if that doesn't work, we'll be a team, I guess."
We'll finally use teamwork, even though we already did use teamwork in a giant robot. But these weapons probably will kill him.
Yep.
Oh, man. Okay, so it does. Okay, because this is how they finish it with...
Well, the Power Blaster, I'm assuming, is what it's called when they're all together.
I think so.
Because that's a Blade Blaster, is their hand-hip
Yes.
gun. It's basically an instant win button.
Yes, but...
Even later on...
For the rest of the series, pretty much, you put your weapons together, you kill the monster...
Right.
Then it grows.
Yeah.
This one had to shrink first.
He grew first, so he was out of growing. Maybe there's only a certain amount of time that you're grown. Which is apparently about 8 minutes.
Give or take. But
I mean, that doesn't work because
it's
later
such a weird precedent because it's showing that you can kill the monster forever with the Power Blaster.
There are more that they just
Power
kill
cannon.
with the power cannon.
Yes. There are more, but it's usually when they're running low on time and they don't have time to show what might be the rest of the fight. Here's my fix. Recut the episode. Cut out them in Megazords.
Yeah.
In the Megazord. They're fighting one-on-one and then they all get knocked out. Because I know there's footage of them getting ejected from their Zords that they have within those first 15 episodes. Because they did the first 15 as a batch. And then they were like, "Oh no, guys, there's another Ranger.
Who's this guy?" And then I remember the interview about that.
Yeah.
He's like, "And I just watched ahead and he doesn't go away."
Yeah.
So we gotta cast the new guy, and it was Jason David Frank, which is fine because he's basically Power Rangers.
He is the Power Ranger. Yeah, so just cut that out. Zordon calls him back, gives him the power weapons, sends him back out. I don't have a reason for why he shrunk still, but at least it's not like...
Does he need to be a giant ever in this episode?
No. Because
you can get rid of all of that.
You cut all that out, and then you just add in them doing teenager stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I would be fine.
Because now we're at the end of the episode. Because they've killed him. Rita hates the fact that all of her henchmen are idiots.
Yep.
And then we go back to Earth, where the Power Rangers are in school.
Maybe it's the next day.
It's not. They're wearing the same clothes.
Listen, how often did you change your clothes in high school?
Not a lot. I mean, often enough to not smell.
But every day?
Well, yeah. I mean, except jeans, because they're, basically invincible. But Kimberly? You telling me Kimberly?
You're right.
Okay.
Maybe they have a free period, and by after school they meant free period.
No, they meant after school. They left after school. It was like an hour and a half of them fighting various monsters.
Nobody's reading the scripts before they film. That's what's happening.
But they come back to school, and there's the trash from earlier in the day is still on the ground.
Nobody else is in the school except for Mr. Kaplan.
Because it's after school. All the kids have gone home, and there are no janitors. You know why? Because Kaplan is mad as heck that the Power Rangers haven't cleaned up the mess. Why is it their responsibility to clean up the school when it's done?
I don't know.
Why were they even at school, Josh?
I don't know. That whole scene should have just been in the juice bar.
Yeah. It was an excuse.
I don't know.
It was an excuse to use fast motion. Cause our first instance of
see how fast they can clean when they're a team.
It doesn't make any sense. Kaplan is irrationally mad at them. He comes in and he's like, "What is this mess? You five, get over here."
I mean, if you're walking around your school after school and you find 5 teenagers loitering in the hallway, wouldn't you be like, "Hey, get out of here, punks! But why'd you make this mess?"
But he didn't say, "Get out of here." He's like, "Clean this up."
Maybe he just thought they were in detention because they're such bad kids.
He didn't even say clean it up. He said, "Why is this mess still here? Like they should have taken care of it."
And then he's just like, "I want to talk to you."
And then he gets called on the loudspeaker. And then he leaves because Mr. Kaplan, there's some phlebotinum in jar C that you need to look at. And so he leaves to go look at the phlebotinum.
It's because somebody with a weird name wanted to speak with him. That's what the page was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Phlebotinum.
Mr. Phlebotinum wants to speak with you.
Phlebotinum is a term that they invented on Buffy for weird thing. Like, sort of like a MacGuffin, but an actual object. Not like an idea or a mislead. It's like that jar with the stuff in it, like the green candle's phlebotinum.
Right. Yeah.
Here's your film-ish lesson for the
day.
day.
I didn't know that. That's fun.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you said it, because if I say it's a fun fact, it's completely subjective. So then they clean up really fast. Kaplan's like, "Oh, what happened? What happened to the mess?" And then Jason lies to him and says, "What mess?
What mess?
What mess? I don't remember a mess."
And Mr. Kaplan's just like, "Ooh!" And then
I guess you're right. And then he walks away. So they lie to the head. That's the attitude that Zordon was looking for.
They lie about cleaning that mess. Why did they lie about cleaning the mess? Why is cleaning the mess that Kaplan wanted cleaned a bad thing that they lie about? This episode is the worst. This is just terrible. I hate it.
Oh, man.
I hate Power Rangers. I hate the Morphin Grid. I hate everything.
Shut up. You're just sick, all right? You got a man cold. Josh and I are notoriously bad for how awful our man colds are. And to be fair, it's not our fault. No one else in the world has ever been as sick as we are.
That's true.
Ever. So
I've been sicker than this.
Yes.
My voice just hurts, and that makes me crabby. But
yeah, because there was that time you nearly killed Sesha, myself, and Tony.
And also me,
and
myself.
You. Well, you were already dead. You were...
It's another story for another time.
Another story for another time that ended in me asleep for 5 days, basically.
Right after a tattoo, though, so it was a good healing.
So yeah, a tattoo healed up nice. It was a big tattoo, so I woke up, changed the dressing, drank some soup a little bit, and then went to bed. Anyway, the thing we end on is Zordon calls them, and he's like, "Rangers, Alpha's screwing everything up
by dancing.
He's dancing. He's breaking everything we have in this thing. He's trying to do his hip hop moves, which is kind of like how a grandma would dance." And then,
well, I don't know if you read this, because I read or heard at some point a thing where like the Power Rangers are the kids, and Zordon's the father figure, and Alpha's the mother figure.
Yeah, Alpha's the mom, yeah.
So Alpha's just trying to relate to her children by learning hip-hop and dancing and short-circuiting the control panel.
Oh, how she could...
If you watch the little tiny montage of Alpha dancing around, every once in a while, he or she...
Alpha.
Every once in a while, Alpha will, like, bump into it.
And they're so
she's
fragile.
Like, she's just, like, punching buttons as she dances.
Where's that smoke button? Where's the button that makes things fry underneath it? Better dance near those. And then Zach is like, "Hey, stop dancing and make everything not broken." And they laugh.
And they just laugh.
And then we go off the air.
And go fade to credits.
because they're kind of mean in this episode, I guess. Oh, yeah. So that's
teamwork.
Yep.
That's it.
I'm hoping that the next episode is a million times better, because this one was rough for me.
I don't remember the name of the next episode, and I just looked at it on the DVD.
Pressing engagements.
Yes.
I don't know what it's about. I can't remember, and I can't remember anything after Teamwork until Pudgy Pig, which is only 2 episodes.
Right.
Unless I might remember an episode, but I'm not sure if it's before or after Pudgy Pig, because there's really
we'll find out.
Very little continuity. I mean, to be fair, actually, the continuity is really good between episodes.
Right.
There's not enough to matter. You know?
You can watch any episode isolated from the others. Yeah.
So you can jump in on anyone, but it also tracks, which is neat. So that's been the Morphin Grid.
Yep.
And hopefully the next one is a lot more better than this one.
Yeah, sorry guys.
I'm pretty sure it'll be all uphill from here.
There will be more bad episodes. We still have Turbo. So
Ragging on Turbo. Alright, we know it's bad, but we got 160 episodes. 180 episodes to go.
So many episodes. We're going to be doing the Morphin Grid until we're dead.
Everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I think they hit 750 recently. If not, they hit...
We're going to have to start cranking these out 5 days a week.
We're going to do Power Ranger style, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if we get a sponsor...
Yeah, if we can quit our real jobs and do this instead.
Do this all day, yeah. We'll record all day, a day.
Yeah.
Forever.
So if there's a donate button, hit it.
And if you want to hear us blabber about Power Rangers every single day of your life, except weekends. I mean, you can listen to them on weekends. It's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your life. Do what you want. Then, yeah, hit that donate button and give us...
There's Power Rangers, depending on how far along we've gotten. There's also Pokemon. There's definitely also Pokemon.
There's wrestling, probably.
Wrestling guys, maybe. We're debating a Zelda one, whether or not it...
Thinking about a Zelda one, but...
Maybe I'll be more into it after I finish A Link Between Worlds.
I kind of want to do a podcast about video games.
We're hoping to be a podcast network.
We're hoping we have a lot of stuff for you.
Because the donate button would be for all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, because all the money's coming to us regardless.
Right. So yeah. But hopefully there'll be something for everybody. Because these are all things that we like that we can't stop talking about in real life that we figure we might as well...
We're hoping by doing this...
We might as well subject other people to, to us.
So get it out of our system so that when Sasha's around, we're not driving her nuts.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Oh, wife dropper over here.
It's the second time you said that in a podcast.
All right, so in summation...
Teamwork's a bad episode.
Can't get much worse.
I mean... It's a necessary episode because it tells you about the weapons. But it's an unnecessary episode because it's bad. And you can just accept that they have weapons later.
Now that we have Zyu Ranger, whatever it's called.
Right.
We should probably watch it. And
we should make sure it works because the discs were a little iffy looking.
They're just blank. They're just blank looking discs. They're not my Digimon bootlegs that I bought.
They are not that classy.
Which are super profesh. But now Digimon's out on real DVD, so I'm buying them again.
And the real DVD is less profesh than the bootleg that you had.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
Did I ever show you the Street Sharks packaging?
Which is official.
How officially bootleg that is?
But doesn't really look like it. Okay.
All right, guys. That's been episode 3. We talked about teamwork. You listened to us. We complained. We cried. That was it.
We laughed.
We even didn't really laugh.
I laughed a little bit.
No, there was some laughter. Anyway, tune in next week. We're going to be talking about A Pressing Engagement, episode 4. So until then...
May the power protect you.
And we're back, and Jake is a jerk. See you next week.